Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here, coach of the Bronx Beartics. First off, I just want to apologize if I sound tired. It's because I am. The draft finished and it was like 7 hours in that call, over 7 hours in that call, so I'm exhausted. Just sitting here and being in a call. But it was fun though. It was definitely fun. It was just, it took so long. But if you missed today's earlier video, basically I talked about the OU picks that I had because I had time in between the drafts. And this time we're going to be talking about my UU picks for the UCL. Now, if you aren't familiar with what the UCL is, basically it's a draft league format where the 16 YouTubers that are in it, myself included, draft 16 Pokemon, 3 from every single tier, OU, UU, RU, and NU, well, those 4 tiers. And, yeah, you just draft in snake style. So, 1 to 16, and then it goes back up from 16 to 1. And the orders are randomized. Sorry, my phone fell. Really sorry about that. But yeah, so if you guys missed my OU draft, you can check that out. There's a playlist down below in the description. And I'll be editing that and adding in videos as we keep going. Sorry if you hear my mic keep slipping off my head or my headset. But in any case, let's talk about my UU draft real quick. So, I was very, very lucky to actually be number 5 in the draft order. And thankfully, everybody before me wanted nothing that I wanted, so basically I was able to get the Pokemon that I wanted most from UU, and that is Reuniclus. My boy Hardbody returns this season as another member of the Bronx Beartics. Reuniclus was on my team last year, and it put in so much work. It was almost MVP. I actually almost, well, franchised it or whatever you want to call it. Basically, I almost picked it as my Mon to stay on the team because I won last season of the UCL, so I got to pick one Mon. The Mon I ended up picking was the captain of the Bronx Beartics, of course, Manaphy. But Reuniclus fits pretty nicely. It gave me a nice fighting resist, especially when I drafted Kyurem Black, Garchomp, and Manaphy. It was also a status absorber and something that can abuse its great abilities in Magic Guard. Honestly, Magic Guard is its best ability. And I can use a Life Orb Trick Room set. I can use Calm Mind. In the past, I even used Acid Armor Calm Mind to boost alongside Curslax. And Focus Blast, Trick Room, Signal Beam are all options. It even has stuff like Toxic and Recover. Basically, it has reliable recovery. It can't be worn down by status. It can only be paralyzed by Thunder Wave. But and it has such a great move pool in Grass Knot, and as I said before, amazing utility in Trick Room as well as Calm Mind. This Mon is just a great pivot, and look at these stats. Obviously we're gonna be at level 50, but their stats are nothing to laugh at. It's that HP stat that really makes Reuniclus such a great member on the team. And I wanted some bulk, especially because my first 3 members, again, Kyurem Black, Garchomp, and Manaphy, not to say that they aren't bulky, because they definitely are extremely bulky Pokemons, but I wanted a Pokemon that can just focus on switching into Mons, can threaten anything, can take status for me, can take Scald Burns, can take Toxics, can take Thunder Waves. Hopefully it doesn't take any freezes in this season, but I wanted a Calm Mind Sweeper, and Reuniclus just put in so much work for me last season that this was definitely my #1 pick. And I love it too because it also has access to Thunder Wave as well. So some great moves, some great support on this Mon. And the Trick Room Life Orb set is something I could definitely see myself running. I could even see myself running something with Future Sight, depending on if it's best for that week, because I will be building my teams based on my opponent's teams every single week. So I actually don't know who we're fighting first, and next tomorrow actually is the RU and NU part of the draft at 12 p.m. Eastern. I won't actually be there, but I'll be texting Leo my Pokemon because I gotta head out. But yeah, Reuniclus is just such a great Mon to have on the team. And Hardbody, you already know, Reuniclus alongside something like Tank Chomp just sounds ridiculously broken. Garchomp being able to get rid of pretty much the Scizors and Bisharp that threaten Reuniclus. Reuniclus is able to eat moves like Choice Bandit Crunch from Tyranitar, Choice Bandit Knockoff from Weavile. Reuniclus is able to eat those hits. I can run like a Cobra Berry or something like that along those lines. And this is just a really versatile Mon, and it's so good at what it does. It's kind of like Clef, but with a slower speed and a better Trick Room abuser, I feel. Because Clefable does have access to Trick Room, if I'm not mistaken, but I feel like Reuniclus just does that so much better. Now, the next Mon on my list is actually my #2 pick, and surprisingly, after about an hour and a half of people drafting in front of me, because I was number 5, so I had to wait for them to go all the way down to 16 and go all the way back up to number 5 again. So after about an hour and a half of everybody drafting, no one picked Snorlax, and Snorlax was very, very high on my list. Actually, last season in the UCL, it would have been my second pick as well, but PK Sparks actually drafted it before me. But Snorlax was the one I wanted because with Thick Fat, it gives me pretty much an ice switch in, something that my Garchomp wouldn't have liked. It's extremely fat, and I don't mean to go off Thick Fat, that's like a duh type of thing, but it has extremely high HP and really good special defense and decent defenses if you invest in it, as well as access to Curse, Self-Destruct, and it being a normal type, it has a ridiculously high move pool. Gunk Shot, Fire Punch, even Fire Blast, stuff like Surf if my opponent has maybe things that are like Ground and Rock, Ice Punch, Outrage. I definitely won't be running Outrage, but it's just things like that, as well as a pretty unique ability I think in Gluttony, where if you're at a 50%, you can get a Custap Berry, so that's something I can see myself running. Custap Berry Snorlax with Gluttony, because at 50% he will be getting that that Gluttony activated. But Snorlax was something I really wanted because I feel like a lot of people, alongside Reuniclus, like Reuniclus has that Calm Mind plus Psyshock, which allows it to beat other Calm Mind users because it's hitting you on that physical side. And Curselax is just like that. It just curses up against everything. For example, Life Orb Lucario's Close Combat does not knock it out after a curse, and I can knock it out with an Earthquake or Fire Punch in retaliation. And it's a Mon that can tank Dracos. It can tank pretty much everything. This Mon can literally draft everything. And with Reuniclus covering its fighting weakness, as well as Snorlax covering Reuniclus's ghost weakness, I felt that they would pair very good together, or very well together, excuse me. Again, I'm tired, sorry. And I'm hoping that we see some Curselax sweeps. Some nice Curselax sweeps throughout the UCL. It also has access to a phasing move, being Whirlwind, which is also really cool if I manage to get some sort of spikes as we keep drafting. Who knows? I have no idea what I'm going to be getting as we keep drafting, but I do have a draft plan, and hopefully that works out the way I wanted it to. But again, Snorlax is just one of those Mons that's ridiculously hard to pair for, even if you, or just to prep for. And even if you do prep for it, that doesn't guarantee that Snorlax won't be beating you. I might even run Blizzard once. My opponent has like Lanner's T. Or, well, Ice Beam, probably better. Not that I don't knock it out. But it's just things like that. Like, Snorlax is just an incredibly hard Mon to take down. And even if you have strong, super effective hits against it, after it boosts, there's no guarantee that Snorlax will go down. And you usually get a kill. It actually has a great move, a great spammable move as well in Body Slam. Obviously having that 30% chance to paralyze my opponent. And, again, giving me just a solid switch in to most, if not all, special attackers in the tier, and giving me a nice win condition in Cursed Snorlax. I might even run Bandit at times with Pursuit, just as a trapper in general, or even Assault Vest or Protect Leftovers. I don't know, I've been using a Snorlax a lot lately because I played a lot of Black and White UU lately, and Snorlax is just one of the best Mons in that tier, so I've been using Snorlax a lot lately. Now the last Mon that I picked, because it is UU, only the Mega's UU, I had to pick or announce that Aggron was my Mega, but the last Mon that I picked was Mega Aggron. Now, my team is actually pretty weak to ground at the moment. Kyurem Black, Garchomp, Manaphy, Reuniclus, Snorlax, Mega Aggron. They're all grounded, but there is no ground type move that can OHKO any of them. They're all really bulky Pokemon, and I really wanted Aggron because last season of the UCL, I didn't have a Fairy Resist at all outside of Amoonguss, and I wanted a Mon that can cover Fairy types, that can cover Dragon types, that can cover even Poison types and things like that. Basically, Aggron just gave me that all-around Mon that can set up Stealth Rock, that can go for Thunder Wave. It's so bulky with Filter, and I don't even have to use Mega Aggron. I could actually use regular Aggron if I wanted to, though more than likely I will be using Mega Aggron. And it has access to phasing moves like Roar, as well as Dragon Tail, and it's not going down to any one physical attack at all because of Filter, and it's ridiculously high defenses. Like, look at its defenses. With Max, it's over 600. The last time I saw over 600 on defenses was on a Shuckle. But Mega Aggron has 614 defenses, or defense as its defense stat, and has a really nice move pool as well. Heavy Slam is pretty spammable as well with Earthquake, Thunder Wave, Stone Edge, Avalanche, all access to moves like that. And like I said, Stealth Rock was also a move on this Mon. Now, another reason I wanted Aggron is because Weavile was scaring me. And honestly, Aggron does not care about Weavile at all. Weavile is not 2-killing Aggron with anything, especially not even, I'll actually show you Bandit Low Kick from Weavile because it's probably the hardest hitting attack that Weavile has. I love how it still has my Zeph as well here. We're going to give it Choice Band. Not to say that I will be running the, not to say that I will be running a fully physically defensive Aggron. Most of my Pokemon, if not all of them, will cater to what my opponent has. What is this, Mega Bounce? Whoops. Mega Aggron. And I'll actually just show you. This is Impish 16 HP. And Bandit Weavile's low kick does less than 50%. It doesn't KO after rocks. This is also a rock resist. And even though I don't have a rapid spinner or hazard control, honestly that wasn't a problem last year. I had Claydol, but I only brought it one game. But that really wasn't a problem last year, especially when you have Pokemon like Manaphy and Reuniclus to absorb that, to have Hydration and Rain Dance. And Aggron is another mon that cannot be poisoned. Oops, sorry about that. What the hell just happened with my computer? Sorry about that. Oh my god. It's growing. Anyway, back to what I was saying. But yeah, Aggron is just one of those mons that could tank every hit, and I really wanted on my team to be that resistance to flying, as well as Dragon, Fairy, immune to poison, and just be able to take all types of attacks. So that is going to be my UU draft and why I picked them. I'm really excited for when UCL starts. Tomorrow, like I said, will be the RU and NU draft starting at 12 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/KingNappy. You guys can go ahead and check that out. The link to that will be down below in the description. If you're excited, of course, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, do your thing. And yeah, hashtag Bronx Beartics. Hopefully we can take another cup, you know, or win. I'll do my best. But yeah, it's going to be it, guys. Later.